Stop me if you've heard this one. If you want to succeed in dating, you just need to be confident. It sounds simple, yet it's probably the most frustrating piece of advice in the modern dating landscape. But what if I told you that women aren't looking for the swagger you see in movies, but something far deeper, far more powerful, and utterly foundational to who you are? Let's peel back the layers on this complex truth. As a relationship expert, I've heard countless men and women struggle with the elusive concept of confidence. It's the universal key into any door, and women understand this deeply. On a primal, biological level, confidence is attractive because women are innately drawn to attributes that bring them closer to security and optimal survival. Even though we've left the cave days behind, that underlying desire to attach to a man who can manage resources, maintain good health, and possess strong character is still very much alive. Simply put, women want a man they can trust will figure it out. A confident man sets the tone, creates direction, and stands on his decisions without constantly questioning himself. When a woman says she wants a confident man, she is truly seeking a secure man who is comfortable in his own skin. This kind of security translates to action. She wants a partner who does, and does it well. Think about it. A man who knows what restaurant to go to, knows how to handle an emergency, and knows how to navigate her emotions. That presence is intoxicating. The data even supports this. Men who use hesitant language like maybe, sort of, or not sure in their online profiles receive 25% less attention, showing that women are repulsed by low confidence. The shadow of insecurity, why fake it hurts. If confidence is the goal, then insecurity is the active ingredient that complicates and often destroys relationships. Dating an insecure person is painful. It makes relationships difficult and complicated. And critically, insecurity is not the same as shyness. A man can be quiet and reserved in social settings, yet still possess inner confidence. He can be calm and secure in himself, exhibiting an attractiveness that has nothing to do with loudness or extroversion. But the insecure man, he's a walking contradiction, constantly revealing his true nature through telltale signs, even if he tries to cloak himself in a macho exterior. Don't be fooled by the big muscles or the loud exterior. Sometimes the exact opposite is true. Let's talk about the hallmarks of the insecure man, because these behaviors are instant red flags, often far more revealing than physical appearance. The need to dominate and control. An insecure man often tries to control others to mask his own perceived deficiencies. The more he feels inferior, the more he demands that others listen and obey him. This controlling nature isn't confidence. It's a major turnoff and can sadly lead to abuse, as these men often lack power in their own lives and take it out on those perceived as weaker. He may exhibit extreme possessiveness and unwarranted jealousy, tearing away his partner's private space because he inherently fears she will find someone better, knowing deep down that he is not good enough. The perpetual blame game. Have you ever met a guy who is never wrong? The insecure man constantly blames others. Any fault, no matter how small, is shifted to someone else, and he is typically incapable of offering a sincere apology. He fears failure and expectation, often retreating from responsibilities when things get tough. Defining value by currency. Some men dangerously define their self-worth purely by the size of their bank accounts. While ambition is admirable, the man who only feels valuable because of his money reveals that he perceives no other inherent value in himself besides his wealth. They show off. They might actively try to pay for every outing or flaunt luxury possessions, not because they are generous, but because they are strategically attempting to draw attention away from their deeper insecurities, perhaps intellectual or social shortcomings. As the saying goes, empty barrels make the most noise. The avoidance of success and commitment. Insecurity manifests as avoidance. A man lacking confidence will often shy away from successful, confident women or actively try to demean them. He may also seek out numerous quick physical relationships or become fixated on adult content because he lacks the confidence to enter a serious relationship and confront the responsibility that comes with real love. He would rather live safely by refusing to genuinely seek intimacy. Similarly, he might pursue a woman but never actually commit or initiate a serious move, always waiting for the perfect moment. When difficulties arise, he quickly flees. Aggression and confrontation. The man with a large ego and low self-esteem is constantly afraid of being disrespected. This fear makes him hyper-focused on winning every argument, displaying a childish need to always be superior. Only an insecure man feels the need to oppress or bully others to elevate his own sense of self-worth. If he can't gain the upper hand in a conversation, he might resort to losing his temper, yelling, or acting aggressively. The arrogance trap. Insecurity often leads directly to arrogance, which is perhaps the most significant difference from confidence. Arrogance is not just too much confidence. It's confidence built on a foundation of insecurity and constant comparison. An arrogant man boasts about his achievements rather than discussing the efforts and process of reaching them. He is terrible to those in service positions, waiters, drivers, while being overly polite to his superiors. He fears admitting mistakes because that would shatter the facade of perfection he strives to project. He constantly seeks approval, and when he doesn't get it, he turns bitter or resentful. This constant need to feel superior is exhausting, like a hamster running on a wheel, because it's a game you can never truly win. The emotional cost for women. When a woman finds herself dating an insecure man, the dynamic fundamentally shifts. Women want to feel feminine and secure. They want to feel like they can be weak or vulnerable around their man. But when a man is insecure, the woman is often forced into a more masculine role. If she has to constantly reassure him or build up his confidence, it is incredibly draining. If he's jealous, she feels compelled to limit her social interactions. If he's nervous in social settings, she feels like she has to hold his hand or delegate every decision. Eventually, she may start taking control because she feels she knows more or is more capable. This delegation and constant reassurance drain her energy, leading her to feel masculine and ultimately diminishing the attraction. A true leader, who is confident, sacrifices everything for his followers. A man who wants to lead a relationship without being willing to sacrifice his time, resources, or brain power is often seen as controlling, not confident. Women look for a man who is secure enough to take charge, but does so through sacrifice and self-control, not through domination. The definition of authentic confidence. So, if confidence isn't bravado or arrogance, what is it? Confidence is the feeling of self-assurance that comes from acknowledging one's own abilities and qualities. It is the antithesis of neediness. Self-acceptance and self-awareness. A truly confident man knows who he is and is accepting of himself, imperfections, and all. He is introspective enough to be self-aware and make improvements without having a meltdown. This self-acceptance is what makes a person knowable and approachable. Confidence is about having a realistic assessment of one's strengths and weaknesses. The power of action and conviction. Confidence is primarily proven through actions and demeanor, not boasts. A confident man has strong opinions and can voice them, giving reasons for his beliefs, yet he also knows when to hold back. He doesn't need to seek universal agreement. He manages his anger in a productive manner and keeps cool under pressure. Humility and learning. Paradoxically, profound confidence is built on humility. True humility is not about feeling bad about yourself. It is a realistic appraisal. A confident man is eager to learn from others, recognizing that growth comes from admitting what you don't know. An arrogant man tries to pretend he knows everything. The confident man knows he can handle challenges by seeking the resources and help he needs to get the job done. He is comfortable enough to say, "I'm not sure, but I can find the answer," while the fake confident person tries to bluff his way through. 4. The courage of rejection. Perhaps the simplest measure of confidence, especially in dating, is the willingness to act and face potential rejection. As one expert noted, if Charles asks Denise out, he has a much higher statistical chance than Alan, who sat in the corner, or Bob, who only offered a brief greeting. Confidence is having the courage to do what you want, knowing failure is possible, but realizing that failure isn't the end of the world. If you get rejected, you move on. The great debate. Faking it to make it. If confidence is a feeling, can you really fake it till you make it? Yes, but it must be done for the right reasons. When people advise faking it, they often mean using it as a self-improvement technique. The goal isn't to trick others, it's to convince yourself. As one person shared, deciding to pretend to be confident in high school, even when feeling awkward, eventually led to genuine change. It's a process of experiencing the world and teaching yourself that there's nothing truly scary about engaging with it. However, the fake facade cracks easily if it relies on external validation. If a man pretends to be confident but throws a fit or becomes bitter after being rejected, that is a clear signal the confidence was a performance. Faking confidence works best when it's used as a way to practice necessary skills and shift internal self-talk, like looking in the mirror and forcing yourself to acknowledge your own positive traits until you start believing it. The bedroom test. Confidence in intimacy. Pressure to perform in the bedroom is a profound source of anxiety for many men. This anxiety, often called sexual performance anxiety, is common and leads to a lack of confidence before, during, and after intercourse. Worries about size, stamina, and ability to satisfy a partner are typical causes. The anxiety itself can create a negative feedback loop, leading to physical issues like erectile dysfunction or premature ejaculation, which then worsen the lack of confidence for the next time. How does a man cultivate confidence here? First, abandon the pursuit of sexual perfection. Things will not always go the way you plan, and that is normal. A healthy body gets the occasional flu, and the same applies to sexual performance. Secondly, knowledge is power. Many men harbor unrealistic expectations about female arousal. For instance, only about 25% of women reach climax through penetration alone. When men understand that clitoral stimulation, technique, and intimacy are the true keys to female satisfaction, they can shift their focus from raw physical attributes to skills. A truly confident lover focuses on the moment and enjoyment, not just the finish line. He is present, savoring the kisses, the touches, and the connection, rather than dwelling on performance worries. The looks. Question: does confidence trump everything? Now let's address the elephant in the room: physical attractiveness. Some argue cynically that confidence is only attractive if the man is already physically appealing. They suggest that attractive men are treated better by society, making confidence natural, and that no amount of self-assurance can compensate for a man who is unattractive. However, this viewpoint is fiercely contested and often misses the big picture. Many women strongly disagree, arguing that a mediocre-looking but confident man is far more attractive than an insecure, conventionally good-looking guy. Looks might get a woman's initial attention, but sustained attraction comes down to personality, charisma, and intelligence. As one woman notes, she avoids the model type because they are often cocky or boring due to their reliance on looks. What confidence provides, regardless of external features, is an overall higher level of appeal. It makes a man calmer, happier, better at flirting, and more likely to invest in a relationship because he feels worthy. Moreover, attraction is subjective. A man who may not be conventionally handsome but who is charismatic, funny, and intelligent is definitely in. Ultimately, women are not a single-minded entity. While some women might be drawn to the shy or awkward guy, universally, people, not just women, are drawn to those who are secure in themselves. Final thoughts: confidence, then, is not some mystical trait reserved for movie stars. It's an internal state of being. It is about accepting who you are, flaws and all, and trusting that you can handle life's challenges with grace and self-awareness. A confident man is forthright, honest, and respects himself enough to move on if a relationship isn't working, rather than stringing a partner along. This quiet, resolute strength, the ability to be self-assured without arrogance, to know one's worth without needing to boast, that is the secure man women truly desire. If you dedicate yourself to a purpose, self-improvement will follow naturally, and the right partner will inevitably be drawn to the best version of you.